The Volkswagen Audi Group, a bit like a modern version of 1970s British Leyland, except without all the trade unions and the arse and about and the general disorganisation. Loads of different car companies all competing with each other for the same sector, but without really disagreeing. Audi, which is the premium, Volkswagen, which is the boring one, Seat, which are generally driven by people who can't drive, and then an offspring of that, Cupra, for people who can't drive but do it even worse and in a rather erratic fashion. And then you have Skoda, or Ŝkoda, which was once a joke, of course, but that joke's long gone cold. And now these are bought by people who know something. Anyway, back to the point. This, as you can tell, is a Ŝkoda Octavia. A car that is large and practical and not bad looking. Not good looking either, just not bad looking. Typical really of all of the VAG cars. They don't really want to look like anything particularly. And so this one doesn't. In fact, it can be difficult to know which of the VAG cars you're actually looking at half the time. This is a long way from being the newest car I've driven on this channel, but it is more modern than nearly everything else I've driven on this channel. But it's not exactly in great condition. Might be what you consider somewhat irrelevant really, because this is a car review, but it does have rust on it. It does have dents. It's clearly had quite a lot of work here, there and everywhere. And these little holes in the back of there give something away. Ooh. This is not an ex-police car. It's an ex-minicab with 324,000 miles on the clock. Now let's consider something here. You only have to pay £20 a year to tax this car. The owner of the car has only had to pay so far £220 in road tax over the course of 324,000 miles. Don't you think that is just a bit unfair? I do. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that road tax, £20 a year to do that amount of mileage. That's weird. Why the hell am I banging on about such a thing when my car has to pay more than that, even if it doesn't do anything at all in 1 year? I'm actually quite annoyed. I'm annoyed, and I wish I had one myself now. Back to the point. What about the design of this car? It doesn't look like it's been overly designed, does it? You start off with a rectangle and a box on the front when you want an estate car. Rectangle and a box that you put in the middle for a saloon car. And then you smooth the edges off ever so slightly, add some light design and stick a badge on it. That's how you get to Skoda. So the bumper, inoffensive. Headlamps, inoffensive. Bonnet, ever so slightly designed around the old one. Wing, doors, the lines are all, well, they're about as exciting as the lines you used to have to do at school for misbehaving. But it all makes a lot more sense when you get in the back and you discover you've got so much room, so much leg room, so much headroom. How have they made this car so big when it's supposed to be based on the Golf chassis? I can literally just sit here comfortable in this rather drab grey interior and not find myself wishing I had a bit more space. This is practically limo-like in here. And it doesn't come at the expense of the boot, because this is huge as well. This is really rather big. Smells a bit like dog though. The obvious point might be though that 324,000 miles worth of minicab use could... I don't want to think about what may have been spilt on that seat. The door, this big door there. Ah, that's a bit better than I was expecting. You see, everybody wants the Volkswagen sound, and those that decide not to go for it get something better. That. I wonder if the front's any good. It is. Isn't that strange? The driver's seat, of course, is the most important seat of the car, and with this kind of mileage you might just be expecting everything to be completely worn out in here, but well, the steering wheel's shiny, but it hasn't worn through anywhere. It's just all there. What about the bolsters? Oh, there's a tiny bit there. That's fared very well. I can only assume that it's been one minicab driver that chose this particular profession, so he didn't have to move anywhere. Or she could have been a lady minicab driver. It does have that terrible kind of carpet, but it's not worn through too much, it's just a bit there. So, all very good going. The interior is much better looking than the outside and appears to be very well put together indeed. Better than the equivalent Mercedes, I'd say. Cup holders for tiny cups, which are not cups at all, they'll be juice cans, fizzy drinks. Just not the kind of thing you want spilling anywhere. Another big hole there and a small one, and oh gosh, it's only got 5 gears. What's going on there? This is the poverty spec Octavia as well. It's not full of things everywhere. It's got blanks. It probably doesn't even have air conditioning. Oh yeah, it does, it's there. Oh. Are the buttons any good? They're all right. Press all the buttons. It's not switched on, so you can't confuse it. Oh, where's the bonnet release? Where's the bonnet release? It's over there. Slightly unusual feature. You've got to have the passenger door open to release the bonnet. Maybe it's a safety idea. Oh good, no gas struts. Engine under there. Boring. It's just a diesel engine. It's just a diesel engine based on the previous diesel engine that's probably not that much better on emissions than the one it replaced. Yet it's cheated its way into paying bugger all. A picture of the car so that you know what you're driving. We also have a normal handbrake, which is nice. I appreciate a normal handbrake. It's one of those things that the minicar manufacturers decided, oh, we could do better than that, can't we? Let's reinvent the handbrake, shall we? Shouldn't have done that. Now, you would expect the payoff of that really cheap tax is low performance, with only 105 brake horsepower for a car that's actually quite big to be useless. But, foot down and slightly, it's not bad, it's respectable actually. The steering is like weightlifting with helium balloons, and the gear change is okay. Given this mileage, I've got to say, it must have been looked after. I mean, all suspension components, when they wear out and go rusty and fall off and get neglected, can, indeed, with the right person, be put back right again. Everything. Everything. There's no reason ever to be put off by a high mileage diesel, especially if it's had a lot of motorway use, not been just idling. What I wouldn't want though would be a low mileage diesel that's used for motorway maintenance, or any of these kind of highway agencies where they just hang about at some roadworks where there's no work going on with a diesel engine just rattling away whilst they look on TikTok. That isn't good for it. It picks up much better than I was expecting actually. Yeah, I really thought I was going to be disappointed. The only thing I'm disappointed by so far, besides its rather plain looks, is the driver's seat. Unless there is some hidden lumbar support here, no there isn't, then I don't think you could do an awful lot of miles without getting backache. Maybe that's a sign of a minicab driver. If somebody who walks around hunchback with the appearance of struggling to find pennies on the floor so they can buy their next chicken coronation sandwich. Not only that, it's nimble as well. This is actually quite a good car to drive. A bit like a Ford. Yeah, it has a Ford-like chassis to it. It's pointless saying that because absolutely every car after about 2010 feels exactly the same anyway. It's why you can just get into it, start driving, you know where everything is, you have absolutely no thought process whatsoever going on because it's just made for anyone to be able to just drive without paying any bloody attention. With that, I can fully understand why that kind of mileage can be racked up and no harm done. Might be the original gearbox, might be the original clutch. It can't possibly be half of the original suspension. Surely most of that's already been replaced. drives nice and flat and smooth around the corners and picks up well, but there's no avoiding bumps in the road. To summarise, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed by the way the car drives, and you wouldn't imagine that it had that kind of mileage on it. You'd be thinking, well, it could be 100,000. There's just no significant wear anywhere, and that engine still sounds perfectly good. Did Skoda make a good car or not? I think they did. I think they made a very good car. On the dashboard there's an indicator telling you what gear you should be in. So if you drive it with any kind of enthusiasm, there'll always be bunging a number up in front of you that doesn't correlate with what's going on. Is that a good idea or is it a bad idea? I'm going to say it's a bad idea because diesels do need to be driven, and if you just pay attention to that all the time, you're never going to get 324,000 miles because you'll just wear the thing out and it'll be coked up like a street hooker. All right.
Stalling my fleet, please, mate. You do know your seatbelt's not out here, though.
What?
I'll just fix that.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, hold my fleet, please, pal.
What about it?
Take us there. Been busy?
It's none of your fucking business, pal.
Time you on till?
When I finish.
Yeah, just left up here. Yeah, anyway, here, mate, it'll do.
So, I believe that this is the kind of car that I should actually buy myself because it's big, it's practical, it's good on fuel, it's much quicker than you'd expect,
Back there, please, mate.
and it's actually really pleasant to drive.
Excuse me, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, here will do, mate.
If only the seats were a bit more comfortable, then I'd really be quite impressed by it.
I feel like I've been kidnapped.
Could you please stop interrupting my video? Right, so you wanted to go to Hollingworth Lake. Well, you can go to Hollingworth Lake, but I've got to stop here, I'm afraid. So you're going to have to make your own way.
Oh, no.
Try calling a minicab.